Do you feel stressed or overwhelmed? Do you feel like you've had it up to here, but you don't know how to make it stop? And each day, work feels like another year in a never-ending stress cycle? If this describes you, you've come to the right place because in today's episode, I share 5 self-care tips for how to handle stressful jobs so that you'll know how to stay calm under pressure when you're the boss. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, the best place for new and emerging leaders who want help navigating challenging situations in the workplace. I'm Jaboria Scott, a leadership coach and consultant, and I'm joining you here from Lake Atitlan in Guatemala. Now, with everything that's happening in the world right now, knowing how to handle stress at work is definitely a hot topic for supervisors and employees in general. The key to remember about how to manage stress is to practice habits that make self-care a priority, especially when you manage people. That's why in today's episode, I share how to stay calm under pressure when you're the boss with 5 self-care tips for how to handle a stressful job. So let's get into it. Tip number 1 for how to handle stressful situations at work is to celebrate the small wins. When you're stressed at work, it can be hard to know where to start and what to do to decrease the feeling of overwhelm. So focus on what's going on right by reflecting on the things that you're doing well. Doing this will help you to make a realistic assessment of your workload, and you might find that you're doing a better job than you're giving yourself credit for. No matter what challenges you face in your job, there are definitely things that you can point to that you do well. So celebrate what you're doing well instead of focusing on what's going wrong. This will help your mood to improve. It's also a huge confidence booster. It'll help you to ease your stress a little, and it also gives you clarity and gets those mental juices flowing so that you become a solution-oriented leader to tackle your challenges head on. Even though this is easier said than done, there's not much point in stressing over things that you can't change. But when you focus on what you're doing right, you can produce more of it. A quote by an unknown author states that every day may not be good, but there's something good in every day. Tip number 2 for how to handle a stressful job is to look outward instead of looking inward. If you're feeling down about a situation at work, I'm sure that someone else is too. Although it may be something different from what you're experiencing, if you can do or say something kind to the other person, it will make a world of difference for you and for them. When we're kind to others, it has the ability to shift our focus off of our own problems. A quote from John Pavlovich says, "So many people are hanging on by the tiniest of threads. Treat all people well. You could be that thread." Kindness to others can remind us that everyone has their own silent personal struggles, and we're not alone. Making someone else happy when they're also experiencing challenges can bring you unexpected joy, and it can help you to refocus your energy towards the positive. Tip number 3 for how to handle a stressful job is good leadership is about progress and not perfection. No one is perfect, and no one expects you to be either. The times when people expect perfection from their leaders is over. People want their leaders to be more transparent and more relatable. When you can show that you're human, that you make mistakes, and that you're approachable, people can relate to you. So don't get stuck in your head about it. And if you make a mistake or don't know what decision to make in a particular situation, don't be too hard on yourself. Because as Marie Forleo says, everything is figure outable. So be kind to yourself as you learn and grow. Tip number 4 for how to handle a stressful job is you get to decide what kind of leader you'll become. What you do right now can create a better outcome, which leads to a better you. Things may look rough right now, but you can choose whether or not you stay there. Your actions and attitude in this moment will be the difference between whether or not you come out on top. You may not be able to control what's happening around you, but you can control how you respond to it. Robert Louis Stevenson said, "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds you plant." The best leaders learn to turn setbacks into stories about how they overcame adversity that they later share with future leaders or mentees. Look at each new challenge as an opportunity to create your success story. Even though it may not feel like it, remember you're exactly where you need to be right now, and you'll get through it. Tip number 5 for how to handle a stressful job is to remember that you are good enough and you are the right person for the job. Some of the people who become the best at what they do have suffered imposter syndrome. I myself have felt imposter syndrome before. That's probably why it took me so long to create this YouTube channel when I had been dreaming of it for years. In the end, I know that whatever negative thoughts I had in the past just aren't true. A David Icke quote says that the greatest prison people live in is the fear of what other people think. When you're the boss and everyone will have an opinion of whether or not you're doing a good job, people will say you're not fair enough, you're not fun enough, you don't smile enough, you're not smart enough, and maybe, just maybe, they won't say any of those things. Here's the truth. Unless they're your supervisor, mentor, HR, or someone who's in a position to evaluate your job performance, their opinion doesn't count. So don't let it affect how you feel about yourself. Leadership development is a process, and it's impossible to know everything. And it's an extremely unrealistic expectation of others to have of you or for you to have of yourself. So take a deep breath and show yourself some kindness and continue to learn and grow. When things get tough, remember that you are doing your best and your best is good enough. Here's the takeaway. A quote by an unknown author states, "A diamond is just a piece of charcoal that handles stress exceptionally well." You're a diamond, so remember that. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, click the like button and don't forget to share with a colleague or a friend. Also, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you'll know when I post more videos just like this one. As always, have a great week, be kind to yourself, and thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon.